Welcome, the anointed ones. When God steps in to protect his chosen, even the boldest schemes crumble to dust. Imagine this. Someone out there is so rattled by your light, your resilience, and your strength that they resort to sneaking around, digging up anything they think could tarnish your name. They assume they can manipulate destiny itself, investigate, expose, control. But here's the twist they didn't see coming. They just got exposed trying to expose you. In fact, statistics show that nearly 80% of people who obsess over others' lives are simply projecting their own insecurities. Yet they think they're on a mission to uncover the truth. It's almost laughable, the lengths they'll go to just to disrupt a chosen one's peace, only to be met by a divine roadblock. Today, we're diving deep into why any attempt to investigate or pry into your life backfires spectacularly. God didn't just shut down their plans. He exposed their hidden motives for the world to see. So grab some popcorn, because we're about to get into the irony, the humor, and the epic protection that comes with being truly chosen. Number one, when you're chosen, privacy is sacred. When you're one of the chosen, your life has layers that aren't meant for everyone's eyes. There's a level of privacy, a sacredness that God himself protects because he knows the strength of your journey. Those who try to dig into your past, sniffing around for mistakes or so-called secrets, don't understand the boundaries they're crossing. They think they have a right to pick apart your life, to analyze and judge as if they could just decode what makes you different. But chosen ones are set apart, and that comes with a protection that can't be breached by curiosity or jealousy. People prying into your background are often driven by their own insecurities, hoping to find something that can make them feel better about themselves. They see your resilience, your calm under pressure, and it unnerves them. Instead of trying to understand your strength, they'd rather find some dirt to justify their discomfort. They can't bear that someone like you exists without any visible flaws they can cling to. Yet they don't realize that this curiosity isn't innocent, it's invasive. And in stepping into sacred territory, they meet a wall they didn't expect. God protects his chosen in ways they can't comprehend. Their plans fall apart, not by coincidence, but because they're messing with a force they don't understand. What's private stays private, and any attempt to expose you only circles back to reveal their own weakness. They end up frustrated, watching as every attempt to pull you down fails, only highlighting just how out of their depth they truly are. In the end, they're left confused, embarrassed, and exposed, not because of anything you did, but because God won't allow anyone to trespass into a chosen one's life without consequence. It's his way of saying, this one is untouchable. Number two, exposing their own insecurities. People who dig into the background of a chosen one usually have an agenda, even if they're not fully aware of it themselves. Deep down, they're driven by insecurities, hoping to find something, anything, to make you seem more ordinary or flawed. Seeing someone with an unshakable sense of self makes them uneasy, because it highlights something they lack within themselves. Their curiosity isn't fueled by admiration. It's rooted in a desperate need to find a crack in what they see as your perfect armor. They look at you and see someone walking a different path, carrying a quiet confidence and a purpose that isn't easily rattled. Instead of asking themselves why they feel so threatened, they try to flip the script by digging into your past or questioning your choices. It's their way of finding comfort, a hope that maybe, just maybe, they'll uncover something to knock you off your pedestal. But ironically, their attempts only shine a spotlight on their own weaknesses. God exposes these people because he knows that those who pry into your life are projecting their own struggles and insecurities. They're hoping to diminish your power to make themselves feel whole. But their fixation ends up backfiring, revealing them as people who lack the very qualities they're so eager to find missing in you. While they're out there trying to turn over stones, they become the ones exposed, not for being investigators, but for being small-minded. In the end, their actions show everyone just how fragile and insecure they really are. Instead of tarnishing your reputation, they end up tarnishing their own. The more they obsess over you, the more obvious it becomes to everyone else that they're the ones struggling to find value within themselves. God lets them expose themselves, revealing their insecurity and reminding you that no one can dim a light, He's put within you. Number 3, God's shield against jealous curiosity. Chosen ones live under a unique protection, a kind of spiritual shield that most people can't even begin to understand. When someone tries to pry into your life, attempting to dig up details or secrets they think could weaken you, they're going up against a boundary set by a force much greater than themselves. They can only scratch the surface because the truth is, they don't have access to the deeper parts of your journey. That shield is there to guard not only your purpose but also the path that led you there. And those who try to bypass it end up confused and blocked at every turn. The frustration they feel isn't just from hitting dead ends, it's because they realize there's something they're not equipped to see. They want to dissect you, figure you out, maybe even understand what makes you tick. But they're denied entry. God keeps certain things hidden because there's a part of you that's meant to stay untouched, unpolluted by those who would misuse it. This isn't just about protecting your privacy. It's about ensuring that the essence of who you are, the parts of you that are key to fulfilling your purpose, remains untainted by outside influence. People who try to force their way into understanding you will inevitably stumble and fall. They don't have the blessing, insight, or spiritual access needed to see what's behind the curtain. That inability to comprehend you, to see past your calm exterior, only adds to their frustration. They come face to face with the reality that their curiosity is outmatched by a divine protection that renders their efforts pointless. In trying to uncover what makes you different, they end up learning a harsh truth. Chosen ones operate on a level that can't be reached by ordinary means. And in their failed attempts, God is saying loud and clear, this one is guarded, keep your distance. Number 4, their illegal actions reflect their weak morals. When someone tries to investigate you behind your back, they cross a line that goes beyond curiosity. It's a breach of basic moral integrity. People who stoop to such tactics aren't just being nosy. They're showing a willingness to invade and manipulate. The need to gather information on someone without their knowledge reveals more about them than anything they could ever uncover about you. It's not just an invasion of privacy. It's a reflection of weak morals, a lack of boundaries, and a sense of entitlement that says, your life is mine to inspect. When God exposes these actions, it's more than just karma in play. It's divine judgment, an intentional revelation that peels back the mask they wear to the world. Those who live in the shadows of deception are being forced to confront their own hypocrisy. They may claim to be trustworthy, to hold values, or to operate with good intentions, but their actions tell a very different story. God doesn't let such behavior go unchecked because He knows that people who live this way are a threat, not only to you, but to others they might target in the future. This exposure becomes a lesson, a mirror that shows them the ugliness of their own actions. They're made to see themselves as they are, people willing to betray, deceive, and manipulate to satisfy their own insecurities or agendas. And the irony is hard to ignore. The very actions they hoped would give them control or insight over you end up unraveling their own facade. Divine judgment doesn't just punish, it forces a reckoning. It's God's way of saying that those who try to harm His chosen through deceit will be seen for who they really are, people who operate in the dark because they fear the light of truth. Number 5, God protects what they cannot comprehend. Chosen ones walk a path that isn't easily understood. Their lives are woven with a depth, purpose, and resilience that can be baffling to outsiders. People on the outside may see glimpses of your life and think they can analyze or dissect it, but they're missing the bigger picture, a picture they're not meant to see. This isn't about hiding, it's about protecting something sacred, something intentionally layered and shielded by God. When people try to pry into a chosen one's life, they quickly find themselves lost, unable to piece things together. God steps in, shutting down their attempts not just to guard you, but to keep your purpose pure and undisturbed. What they don't realize is that certain details of your journey were never meant for them. Divine protection is like a veil that keeps the essence of your story hidden from anyone who hasn't earned the right to see it. This protection is a barrier between you and those who would only misunderstand or misuse the things that define you. To outsiders, this divine shielding is confusing. They expected to find simple answers, maybe even weaknesses, but instead they're left more puzzled than before. They're denied access to the deeper parts of your journey, left with questions they'll never be able to answer. This frustration is by design, a reminder that there are boundaries they cannot cross, no matter how curious or determined they might be. God's protection over chosen ones is not just about safety. It's a statement that some lives are woven with a sacred complexity. What others cannot comprehend is not theirs to dissect. They're left facing the truth that there are things beyond their understanding, aspects of your path that are untouchable, protected by a divine hand that allows only what aligns with your purpose. Number 6, your energy is a mirror reflecting their darkness. When people attempt to pry into your life, they're often met with an unexpected result, their own darkness staring back at them. Your energy, grounded and resilient, acts like a mirror, reflecting their intentions right back. They might come into your space with motives to uncover, expose, or control, but all they find is a harsh reflection of their own inadequacies, weaknesses, and unresolved issues. Instead of gaining insight into you, they end up confronting the parts of themselves they'd rather ignore. It's an irony that never fails. The more they seek flaws or vulnerabilities in you, the more they're forced to confront their own. Your energy becomes a silent but powerful force, challenging them to see the real reasons behind their curiosity. Instead of confirming their assumptions or feeding their ego, they're met with uncomfortable truths about themselves. Perhaps they wanted to find something in you that would justify their own insecurities, but instead, they're left with a reminder of their own inner struggles and limitations. This reflection is part of why chosen ones often have such a polarizing effect on people. Your grounded, authentic energy doesn't tolerate deceit or ill intentions. Instead, it magnifies them, turning their focus back onto themselves. Those who look at you with pure intentions might see inspiration and strength, but those who approach with hidden agendas are met with an unsettling look at their own shadows. This mirroring effect isn't something you consciously create. It's simply the nature of a life aligned with higher purpose. When you live authentically with a connection to something greater, it reveals others' intentions without you having to say a word. People may try to investigate or pick you apart, but they'll only find themselves exposed, staring at the very flaws and fears they tried to project onto you. Number 7. Attempts to dig into your life amplify their own troubles. When people try to dig into a chosen one's life, they unknowingly set a chain reaction in motion that often ends up consuming them. God has a way of turning their intentions back around so that what they sought to disrupt in your life only amplifies the troubles in their own. This isn't some mystical curse or arcane retribution. It's a simple reflection of their own negative energy bouncing right back onto them. By overstepping spiritual boundaries and prying into a life they were never meant to access, they invite chaos into their own. It's like a boomerang effect. When someone projects negativity or malice, that same energy inevitably returns to its source. They think they're acting in secrecy, hidden from consequences, but they're blind to how spiritual laws operate. Energy is never neutral, and when it's directed with harmful intent, it has a way of circling back. Their prying and probing stir up disruptions, not just in your life, but in their own world. They end up facing issues that mirror the chaos they intended for you, finding themselves caught in a whirlwind they set in motion. In trying to expose you, they become exposed. They struggle with sudden problems, broken relationships, or unexpected setbacks that seem to arise out of nowhere. It's a manifestation of the imbalance they tried to create in your life now unfolding within their own. This isn't merely karma, but a deep lesson on respect and boundaries. God's protection over chosen ones ensures that those who overstep learn the hard way that violating someone's spiritual space is an invitation for disorder. In the end, they're left with a stark understanding. Meddling with a chosen one isn't just futile, it's self-destructive. Their troubles aren't a punishment, but a natural consequence of disregarding spiritual laws that are always in motion. Number 8, their intrusion proves they fear what they don't know. When people intrude into a chosen one's life, it often reveals a fundamental fear they carry, a fear of what they don't understand or control. Their digging isn't just about satisfying curiosity, it's driven by a deeper anxiety. They sense that there's something powerful and unique about your path, something they can't put into a box or manipulate. This unknown makes them uneasy, and they attempt to counter it by prying into your background, hoping to find something that will give them a sense of control over what they can't comprehend. God's exposure of their actions shines a light on this underlying paranoia, revealing their fear in its rawest form. They try to mask it as harmless curiosity or concern, but the truth is much more revealing. They fear your purpose. This isn't about finding secrets or weaknesses. It's about their desperation to demystify what makes you different. They're unsettled by the fact that you seem to operate on a level beyond their understanding, a level where their usual tactics don't apply. Their intrusion highlights an uncomfortable truth. They recognize there's a purpose within you that stands apart, and they're threatened by it. Deep down, they realize they'll never fully grasp what drives you or what sets you apart, and this realization stirs up insecurity. Their prying becomes an attempt to diminish your uniqueness, to make sense of something that defies their expectations. But no amount of investigation will give them the insight they seek, because your purpose is divinely crafted and spiritually protected. In the end, their actions reveal more about their limitations than any insight they could gain about you. The more they try to control or understand, the more they're confronted with the reality that some things lie beyond their reach. It's a reminder that the path of a chosen one is intentionally shielded, and those who try to force their way in are left facing the futility of their own fears. Number 9, the irony of their failed attempts. The irony of their failed attempts is undeniable. The more they try to investigate or undermine you, the more they expose themselves. It's almost as if the universe has a way of turning their actions into a mirror, reflecting their desperation and lack of control. With each attempt to dig into your life, their own weaknesses and insecurities become more visible. What they thought would give them an upper hand only ends up showcasing how powerless they truly are. Every move they make, every effort to pry into your background, inadvertently pulls back the curtain on their real motives. Their actions, cloaked in the guise of curiosity or concern, reveal a darker, more manipulative intent. They may have convinced themselves that they're acting out of necessity or justified reasoning, but with each failed attempt, their true nature surfaces. It's like they're trying to dig a hole to bury you, only to find that the hole is filling with their own self-sabotage. This isn't just a simple coincidence. It's almost as if their failure is preordained. God, in all his wisdom, allows their actions to unravel in real time, forcing them to reveal exactly what they're made of. Every layer of deception they try to add only exposes more of their hypocrisy and insecurity. They thought they were in control, manipulating the narrative from behind the scenes. But the more they push, the more they're outed. Their failure isn't an accident, it's orchestrated to unveil their true intentions. The more they try to dig into your life, the deeper they fall into their own trap. This is not just about them failing to get what they wanted from you. It's about the universe forcing them to see their own lack of power, their inability to control what was never meant for them to control. And in that exposure, they're left with nothing but their own unraveling. Number 10, the weight of divine protection. When you're chosen, there's a divine protection that surrounds you, something far beyond human comprehension. This protection isn't just a shield, it's an invisible force field crafted by God himself, ensuring that nothing and no one can break through the boundaries he set for you. People may think they're getting close to uncovering your secrets, prying into your background, or even plotting against you, but they don't realize that every attempt to do so only leads to their own undoing. It's as if God has strategically placed barriers around you that prevent any attack from getting through. These barriers don't just repel negative energy, they confuse and disorient those who attempt to invade your space. What they think is an investigation into your life is actually a setup for their own failure. They are walking right into a trap that was designed not to expose you, but to expose them. Every step they take closer to you only pulls them deeper into their own downfall, as their plans are dismantled by forces they cannot see or understand. This is the weight of divine protection. It's not just passive, it's active. It actively works to dismantle any attempt to disrupt your peace, your purpose, or your journey. Those who believe they can manipulate or control your path are met with confusion and frustration. Their intentions, no matter how hidden or strategic, are always thwarted. What they thought would be a successful probe into your life becomes the very thing that exposes their true nature and orchestrates their defeat. For the chosen ones, this divine protection is unwavering. It's a constant reminder that you're not fighting battles alone. God has already set things in motion, and those who seek to harm or investigate you will find that they've actually walked into a carefully planned downfall, one that they can't escape. Number 11. Their jealousy was their undoing all along. For many who try to dig into your life, jealousy is the real driving force behind their actions. It's not curiosity or concern. It's a deep-rooted envy that eats away at them. They see the peace, the purpose, or the presence you carry, and they can't comprehend how you maintain it. It frustrates them that you seem untouched by the chaos that consumes others, and they begin to search for something, anything, that they can use to tarnish your image or destabilize your life. They feel entitled to unravel your success or disturb your peace, not realizing that their jealousy is the very thing that will lead to their own destruction. What they fail to understand is that jealousy is a self-destructive force. It consumes them from within, clouding their judgment and blinding them to the bigger picture. Every attempt to pry into your life, to undermine you, is rooted in a fear of your power and uniqueness, something they can't replicate or control. Instead of focusing on their own path, they waste energy obsessing over yours, looking for cracks that aren't there. But God's exposure of their actions is a harsh lesson for them. It's not just about revealing their intentions, it's about showing them that envy only weakens them and ultimately leads to their downfall. They may think they can disrupt or destroy what you've built, but they're powerless to harm what God has already blessed. Their envy blinds them to the truth. No amount of prying, no matter how invasive, can touch what's divinely protected. Their attempts aren't just futile. They are orchestrated by the universe itself to prove that jealousy, in the end, only ruins the one who harbors it. God has already blessed you with a purpose and peace they can't comprehend. And no matter how hard they try, they'll never have the power to change that. Number 12, a reminder that no harm can reach a chosen one. At the end of it all, the exposure of these attempts to investigate or undermine you serves as a powerful reminder from God. It's a clear declaration that no weapon, whether it's a smear campaign, gossip, or any form of intrusion, can ever touch those He has set apart. The more they try, the more they fail, and in their failure, a profound truth becomes undeniable. Those chosen by God live under a protection that simply cannot be breached. It's not just a shield, it's an impenetrable force field that repels any negative energy, ill-willed attempts, or harmful intentions that others try to send your way. This divine protection isn't conditional. It doesn't matter how many times people try to dig into your life or tear you down, it will never work. Every failed attempt is a testament to the fact that God's hand is upon you, keeping you safe, keeping your purpose intact, and ensuring that no harm can come your way. Even the most invasive investigations or most malicious gossip can't reach you. It's as if the more they try to sabotage your peace, the more they expose their own inability to touch what's untouchable. The message is clear. God's favor over your life guarantees that nothing can destroy or diminish what He has ordained for you. No matter how often they fail, no matter how clever they think they are, they will always end up empty-handed because they are fighting against forces they cannot see or understand. This is a reminder to you and to the world that when you're chosen, you're untouchable. Your protection is woven into your purpose, and no one, no matter how powerful they think they are, can ever break that divine shield. In the end, the message is undeniable. When you are chosen, you are divinely protected. Every attempt to disrupt your peace, every effort to invade your privacy, every whisper of gossip or smear campaign only serves to reveal the true strength of God's hand over your life. Those who try to manipulate or control your narrative are met not with success, but with failure, as their actions are continuously undone by a higher power. It's a reminder that nothing can harm what God has set apart. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, no matter how hard they try or how often they fail. So, let this be a moment of clarity for you. The chosen ones are untouchable, not by their own power, but because they walk with a force far greater than anything the world can throw at them. Their investigations, their jealousy, their attempts to undermine, all fall flat in the face of divine protection. This is the truth they'll never understand, but one you'll always carry with you as you continue to rise, unscathed and unshaken. You are proof that divine favor doesn't just shield you, it reveals the truth of those around you. Their exposure isn't just about their failures, it's about God showing you just how secure you truly are. So stand tall, knowing that no matter how dark the attacks may seem, you are always covered, always protected, and always moving forward on a path that can't be stopped. If this message resonates with you, if you feel the power of divine protection in your life and the truth that nothing can harm you when you're chosen, then don't miss out on more of this profound content. Hit that subscribe button and join a community of like-minded individuals who understand the strength that comes from walking in your purpose. Stay tuned for more eye-opening revelations, powerful insights, and the truth that will keep you one step ahead. Don't just watch, be part of this journey. Subscribe now, and let's continue rising together, untouchable and unstoppable. God bless you.